Hello and welcome back to more Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. Where last episode we solved our first main puzzle of the game outside of the initial opening elevator, and we also learned of a, actually, is it in our archive information somewhere? No. Okay, so we learned last time of a Radical 6 virus that has, spread all over the world, and all I had to say is, this is very much a 2020 game. So now we've made it out of our first escape room, and we are continuing on to, I assume, the next escape room. Another elevator, huh? This thing
actually works.
Dunno. Only one way to find out, though.
Hey, someone's coming.
Okay, so from memory, I was gonna call them, I was gonna call them Luna and Clover, and then I was gonna call you, Robot Man. I was, the fact that we are referring to you as K slipped my mind. Oh, and then you two, we got Dio.
And Alice tagging along, looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dio, Alice, and Cork, because Dio was the first one I saw. Alice is the most memorable for obvious reasons, because of her presence in the last game. And then Cork was the last to come to my mind, but still. You know, now that I know about it, I can't unsee it, but someone pointed out in a previous episode that Clover always... I mean, I said it's very strange that she's always smiling, given the circumstances, but apparently her animations are glitched to the point where, like, she will always smile at the end of her animations, which is very, very creepy and strange, and I don't like it. What's going on here?
We bumped into them a little while ago.
Who'd have thought we'd bump into you, too?
Let me see the map.
Oh, sure. This music is very suitable for this map. But also, what kind of warehouse is this place? Ah, I get it. All three routes end up here.
It's just like the one we found in the crew quarters.
Crew quarters?
Oh, we found a map like that too. There was one in the lounge.
There's a lounge? Anyway, ours was in the infirmary.
Maybe we should sit down for a bit and exchange information.
No, there's plenty of time for that after we check out this elevator.
So obviously Fi knows more than she's letting on, but the question is, what does she know? Like, what's her connection to this? Because let me tell you, if they're gonna do if they're just gonna do the same plot from the first game again, where it turns out that she's the ultimate mastermind again, I don't know. I mean, I doubt they would, because they're clearly trying to make it stand out from the first game with the whole chromatic doors and everything, so I doubt they would do that again. But she still clearly knows more than she's letting on, so I'm interested to find out what that is.
This is just like the other floor.
These doors have colors on them too. The one on the left is green.
Do you know how directions work? Oh, okay.
The one in the middle is blue.
Okay, from this angle, yes, it's the door on the left, but from the angle that we were just shown,
And the one on the right is red.
Are these chromatic doors? Look, there's a box here. It looked like the ones we saw earlier.
Lock. Huh. Oh my god. Every goddamn time, you always try. It never works. It's never gonna work.
Yeah, just like the other doors.
Why do you keep trying to brute force your way into
No
everything?
good trying to force it open, I suppose.
Is something wrong, Alice? You've been staring at your bracelet.
Oh, no, I'm fine. But it looks like my guess was right.
Also, this must take place, like, right after the first game, then, because Clover and Alice don't look like they've aged a day. Well, I mean, Alice, it makes sense because she's like, oh, I am immortal, my skin can never age, but Clover looks exactly, well, okay, not exactly the same, but she looks enough, like, she looks similar enough to how she was in the first game to where, the point where I'm guessing that this is, like, right after, or at least within a reasonable amount of time after the first game.
The numbers have changed.
Which just, I just have so many questions, like why is this happening again? Who's behind it this time? Who are these new people? Why is Clover here? Why is Alice here? I'm actually, like, really excited to see, because, like, the first game's ending was crap, but I was still, like, really excited. I was really invested in learning what the backstory is behind the boat and all that, so I can't wait to learn more story details this time. Numbers? Oh yeah, the time left. Looks like 2 hours. 6 minutes.
Ah, for fuck's sake. You telling me we're gonna have to just sit around here for another 2 hours?
Well, looks like we don't have a choice then. Gotta head back. Sigma, where's that note you found?
Right.
Oh? Did it say something like supplementary rules? Because if it did, we have one too. We found ours in the crew quarters.
And let me guess, all our rules are different, or they're pieces of a whole?
Yeah, we got one of those. Found it in a safe in the lounge.
I lied, they're exactly the same. Yep, they're the same, okay. I thought they were all gonna be, like, smaller pieces of a whole, but no, they are the same. If that's true, then we can all go back the way we came and get into the warehouse.
I don't think Zero's saying we can. I think he's saying we have to. Otherwise, what's the point of that key card?
You mean this? The Ambidex room key.
We found some too.
That makes 6 then. 1 for each AB room.
Let's head back to the warehouse.
So when Zero says jump, we say how high, huh?
If you don't like it, stay here. Stupid angry mutt watching the door sounds about right.
Asshole. Better hope I don't have rabies, you self-satisfied old turd.
Well, what's it going to be? Are you going to go back with us, or are you staying here by yourself?
Alright, fine. I'm going.
I'm also curious as to why this is gonna it's gonna sound really like this is gonna sound like a really odd thing to point out, but everyone here is really young. Like, I'm guessing mid-20s is probably the average age range for everybody in this group. But Tenmyo, or however you pronounce his name, is like 60 years older than everybody else here, and I'm just like, why? Like, why are you here? I mean, yes, he's the smartest of the bunch. He and Fi are clearly the smartest of the bunch. But my question still remains, like, why are you here? What did you do to piss off the rabbit?
Infirmary, then. We were able to walk right in, just like the note said.
I mean, this guy could also be like 80 years old because we can't see his face. And then of course we have this guy, and then of course we have the kid and Tenmyo are the two that stand out the most, which is odd considering the fact that Alice is here, because we have one kid that's super young and the other guy that's like 80 years old. So I'm just confused, like I don't want to say they're going to be the most important because I think Fi's going to be the most important. It's just interesting that everyone else is pretty much the same general age range, and then these two are just like the polar opposite end of the spectrum.
That means you can come visit the lounge too.
Oh, I can't wait.
You'd like it, Grandpa.
Wait, Grandpa?
There's lots of alcohol. They've even got some of your favorite.
Oh, well, that sounds great. Maybe I'll go have a drink later.
What the hell, man? How are you so damn calm?
Wait, Grandpa, did Tenmyo and Quark know each other? Were they actually related? I was about to ask when something else caught my... Are they gonna do a Back to the Future thing? Where it's like... are they gonna do a Back to the Future thing? Where it's like, oh, I'm your younger self from another timeline. Because if they're gonna do that bullshit with the time again, again, that's my assumption. I'm not saying that's what they're actually gonna do. It's just an odd detail. It's whatever. We'll see how this goes. I'm keeping an open mind. It could just be me spitting out random theories. It probably is, but you know, it's just a weird thing. Someone behind the divider was talking to someone else. I snuck a look around.
Do you think there's a connection?
I can't be sure yet, but there's no way this is all just coincidence.
Yeah. There's even a 0.
Whatever it is that's going on, we need to get in touch with headquarters, and fast.
If the question is this related to the first set of Nonary games? Of course it is, for one. Because that's the other thing that's really strange, is that, this game is packaged on Steam with 999 Hours and Versus 9 Doors, but the third game, Zero Time Dilemma, is its entirely own thing, which is really bizarre, right? Like, the Phoenix Wright trilogy, those games all come in one package on Steam. It's just the trilogy. The Spyro trilogy, all one trilogy. Crash Bandicoot, all one trilogy. But this, like, you can buy a bundle on Steam that says the Zero Escape trilogy, and that's what I bought. But it's, like... you're still buying two separate games. You're buying the Zero Escape the Nonary games, which contains 999 and Virtue's Last Reward, and the second game, the second game you buy, which is Zero Time Dilemma, which is just really confusing. So I just, like, clearly these two games are more directly related than the third game. I don't quite know, but there's a lot of, I just have a lot of questions about the story of this game.
Yeah, I agree. It probably figured out we're gone by now.
Yeah,
Do you think they'll find us?
Let's hope so.
You're in the same room. How are these two connected? You say that as if we, the player, don't already know the answer. And here we go. Alright, we are headed back to the main warehouse. Warehouse A. So that means we're gonna find another warehouse later then. Okay, so what exactly is the point of the Ambidex rooms? I mean, yes, stupid rabbit. I genuinely hate the design of this rabbit so much. It's, like, not hate as in, oh my god, it's so bad. Hate as in, it freaking terrifies me, and I don't know why, but I don't like it. But, like, I know the point of the Ambidex rooms is that, like, that's where we spawned. Spawn, it's like we're playing a Minecraft adventure map. That's where we woke up, but, like, why do we want to go back in there?
You're finally done. You were taking so long. I hopped off for a little nap.
Ah, for yawning? Really? You're just a computer program. You don't get tired.
Hey, Theo. My temper's got a hair trigger, and you're awfully close to pulling it. So I'd watch my mouth if I were you.
I do like the fact that Zero, well, okay, Zero isn't an AI. Zero is someone who programmed the AI. But I do like the fact that the embodiment of Zero for this game is an artificial intelligence. I like that detail a lot.
Otherwise,
Well, you really need me to spell it out.
Forget it.
That's a good boy. Alrighty, let's get back to what we were talking about earlier.
Also, Sigma isn't in this shot. I just noticed. We see everyone else. We see Dio. We see Luna. We see Kay. We see Tenmyo. I'm still pronouncing that name incorrectly. I apologize. Phi, Cork, Clover, and then Alice. But we do not see Sigma here, which is very strange. We haven't seen him once throughout this entire. I mean, we saw him in the opening cutscene, but that was like half a second.
Namely, how do you get more BP?
Which is odd because he's one of the two main characters present on the Steam banner. Like when you open up Steam, and the banner image for this collection is Junpei and Sigma. We go into the AB rooms, right? Look, we got some keys for them right here. Kay and Cork have 2 each, so we all got 6 together.
But who goes into what room?
That doesn't really matter. Anybody can go into any room.
But there are only 6 rooms.
Didn't I tell you? The two members of a pair share the same destiny.
Then you mean both members of a pair need to go into the same room?
Yes.
What do we do after we go into the room?
play a game.
I love your specific instructions.
Just like it says on the door. You play the Ambidex game!
Wait, what's Ambidex supposed to mean anyway?
I would guess it's short for ambidextrous. Most use the word to refer to the ability to use both of one's hands, instead of favoring the left or right. But it can also be taken to mean someone who is duplicitous or two-faced.
It's a game of betrayal, then.
Well, yes, I guess you could put it that way.
And what's the Nonary Game?
Oh, that refers to the whole enchilada. The Nonary Game is a game where you try to open the number 9 door and escape. The Ambidex game is just a mini-game you play as part of the larger one. Make sense?
Like hell. This shit is confusing.
Is it? Or is it that you're just a few carrots short of a bushel?
Oh, get toasted, Dio.
What do you think,
Arrogant little bastard.
Well, that's just how I am. So you better get used to it. Now, could I have you all move to the AB room, please? I'll give you more specifics once everyone's inside.
It's like we're in a pre-show room and we're being ushered into the main theater.
I think it'll probably be easier to understand that.
Kay, Cork, and myself each gave 1 card to Luna, Alice, and Tenmyo. Then we headed into the AB rooms. There wasn't really any discussion of who to go into which door, and Phi and I found ourselves heading into the leftmost room. Looks like everyone else has gone in already. Think we should head in too?
Why are you asking me? Just hurry up and get in there.
Okay, okay.
An Ambidex gate has been opened.
I don't like this.
45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
I have a very bad feeling about this. This game's got a time limit too. What? 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 What the hell? Who is this?
Fuck if I know. Look, it doesn't matter who she is. Just get everybody over here.
What? That's your reaction to this? Wait. Slow down. Guys, get over here. We found someone. There's a lady over here. She's unconscious. My gut reaction was that she's probably dead based on the context of what game we're playing. I didn't wait for a response, just turned around and followed Fire into the room. We knelt down next to the woman and turned her over as gently as we could manage. All that greeted us was, yep, that's, oh, Jesus Christ, that's what I thought. She's covered in blood. I leaned down to listen to her mouth, nothing, no breath. With shaking hands, I felt against her neck for a pulse. No movement, just cold skin. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't...
What were you yelling at? What's going on here?
Is she?
Quark, don't look. Somebody get Quark out of here.
Okay, come on, Quark.
Then she's...
Like, I don't really have a reason to care necessarily, because I don't know who this is. But that doesn't change the fact that it's like a gut punch. Like, Jesus Christ. She's not breathing and I can't find a pulse. Her body's already cold, so I'm guessing she was murdered a while ago.
Murdered?
And also, yeah, we haven't been here that long. This looks like an accident of suicide to you.
Looks like she was stabbed.
And how did she get in there without anybody seeing her?
Don't see a weapon around here, though. That means either the killer took it with them, or it was part of them.
Part of them?
Well, if someone was strong enough and they had metal hands, then they might be able to stab someone in the heart.
What are you suggesting?
It's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Whatever. If we examine the wound, we'll probably get a better idea of what the weapon was. Let's get her to the infirmary. She might be old, but she's still a woman. If we're going to do an autopsy, she should have some privacy.
This ragtag group of idiots is gonna do an autopsy.
Come on, boys, let's go.
Really? Really? This group of people is gonna perform an autopsy. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can't wait to see how that works out. DOK and I gingerly lifted the woman up and carried her to the infirmary. Perhaps he just didn't consider himself one of the boys, or maybe it was something else. But whatever the reason, Temio only stared. His whole body was rigid like a rope pulled almost to its breaking point, but it was his eyes that caught my attention. He wasn't staring at us, not quite. It's more like he was staring toward us, a smoldering spark of something burning silently behind his gaze. So what that means is that he knew the person that was killed, because they both look to be around the same age. Like, we didn't get to see her face all that well, but they look like they could be of similar age. In fact, I'll tell you what, it wasn't until we were almost in the infirmary that I realized Temio hasn't spoken a single word since the moment we found the body. I have a prediction, but I'm not gonna say what it is until he raises either his right or left hand. I'm not gonna say anything. I turned to look back at him. He was following us at the distance, his breathing heavy and labored, and his movements slow and shuffling as if his body was suddenly made out of lead. I'm not gonna say. I have a theory, and it's not like any grandiose revelation. I could easily say it now, but I don't want to say it until I have proof, and I can get proof. I just need Temio to raise either his right hand or his left hand. And then that'll be my answer, because I saw something, about the body. The old woman's body was surprisingly light. Carrying her felt almost like carrying an old, dry piece of wood. We set her down carefully in the infirmary bed as if we were afraid she might break. Okay, so pay attention very closely here. Her right hand, she has a ring around her ring finger. So what I want to check is I want to check to see if Temio also has a ring around his ring finger, because if he does, and it's the exact, because that's a very distinct looking ring. If they're the same, then it's gonna be like, all right, I see. So Temio and this woman were married, and this was his wife who was killed, and that's why. I mean, again, that's not exactly like a super smart prediction, because that's just like, you could assume that even if you didn't know there was a ring there, but I still want to see if there's a ring around his finger for proof. Either way, and then like, that doesn't really get us anywhere, even if that is true, because we still don't know who they are. Like in the context of this game, so it's almost like she's just going to wake up any minute now.
Maybe she didn't suffer much when she died.
Let's hope so.
Anyway, I feel a little bad about doing this, but I think we need to examine her.
You mean like an autopsy or something?
I'm just going to have a look at the wound. If we had a coroner, then it would be a different story, but... What?
I have a medical license.
You're a nurse?
No.
You're a doctor?
Well, I'm not exactly a coroner.
Interesting. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover, can you?
I wouldn't have had a reason to assume you were or weren't a doctor. I mean, I don't really... My surprise reaction was more like, oh, that's convenient, not, what, you are a doctor? That can't be right. That's like, I don't have any... I can't judge whether you were a doctor or not based on purely looking at you. Like, I can't make an assumption one way or the other.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Are you really going to perform an autopsy? Oh, I won't really be doing it. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an ATOM. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
That sounds safe. So you think you can use it to perform some kind of autopsy?
I think I should be able to manage that.
Luna ran the scanner over the body, then turned back to the terminal. The display filled up with text, most of it rather technical. Sex, female, estimated age 65 to 75 years, which lines up basically with how old we think Tenmyo is. Diagnosis, deceased, cause of death, exsanguination, estimated time of death 3 to 4 hours, this damage trajectory, weapon. You can tell all this with how far, wait a minute, okay, so, I was gonna say how far in the future are we, but I also guess we never actually figured out, like, we don't know what year the 999 took place in either. So it could be that game takes place in the future as well. But like, you can tell all this information from a singular freaking scan, really. Damage trajectory, weapon entered through the 4th intercostal, piercing heart, wound characteristics, margin, clean, continuous, 1 sharp, 1 blunt, 150-50. Okay, based on the characteristics described above, there's a 95% chance the wound was caused by a single sharp-bladed instrument. Huh. Yeah, I don't really get it. What's it mean by instrument? What? Sigma? How did... I'm feeling a very big disconnect with my character here, because Junpei, in the first game, was clearly very competent, so I'm like, alright, I like playing as you, but here I'm like, buddy, come on, you're not this dense. Like, you're either playing the long haul or the long con and you're pretending to be an idiot, or you're trying to be a funny joker, and neither of them is working out very well.
It's a tool of some sort, a knife, probably.
Credit to Luna for keeping it cool, though, because if I was Luna and I heard someone say that to me, I'd be like, I would blink twice and then I'd be like, buddy, you good? You doing alright there, pal? I don't think you understood what I just said.
In other words, she was stabbed in the heart, right?
Yes.
Well, I suppose that clears me of suspicion.
Sorry, but no.
Why? Please, don't tell me you think my hand can somehow turn into a knife.
Well, you are Kei, and Kei is the Yatagarasu with the Yatagarasu key who turns into a knife. Ha ha ha, funny. I'm funny, please laugh.
I told you that was a joke.
Then why am I still a suspect?
We found the old lady in one of the AB rooms, specifically the one farthest to the left. Before we went in there, only 2 other people had been in that room. You and Clover. Only one of you was conscious.
Fi, please, stop joking around.
That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. Okay, so you're let me get this straight. Your theory is that the 3 of them were awake in there, and then Kay decided to kill this woman for some reason, and then Clover passed out. So his decision was, okay, crap. Well, now Clover's a witness to what I did, so let's just grab her and then Super Mario jump out of the hole and then just pretend like nothing happened. Like, how could you possibly think this was gonna, like, unless Clover was in on it, which I highly doubt, then there's no way that she would have said something by now, unless she was unconscious at the time. But if she was unconscious at the time, then all Kay would have had to do was just, like, I don't know, jump out, because he clearly didn't need her to be conscious to get out of the room, so he could just jumped out and then would have framed Clover for the crime, and no one would have suspected a thing. Like, this, Fi, look, you've clearly proven yourself to be incredibly competent, but this theory of yours doesn't work.
I assure you, there was no one else in that room besides Clover when I woke up.
But it does raise a question of, like, how did she get into the room?
She must have been put there later.
But the door was locked, right? I don't think anyone could have gotten in without the key.
Perhaps, but there was a hatch on the ceiling, remember?
Yes, there was. But Zero said he locked all the hatches.
Well, if he was telling the truth, nobody could have gotten in there after you two left, which means...
Fucking bastard! Why'd you kill her, Kay? I knew it. You're him, aren't you? You're the real Zero.
He's too obvious to be... Like, he's too obviously a villain to be the villain. I know that sounds weird, but, like, look at his costume. Like, out of context, I show this to you, you're gonna think that he's the ultimate super mastermind behind the game. But, like, I don't get that feeling from him. I just... Like, he seems to have his heart in the right place... And he seems like too obviously the villain to actually be the villain. I know it sounds like a really dumb thing to say, but still.
Wait a minute, please.
Also, the logic doesn't check out as to how it could have, like, it being
Just
him.
calm down. You aren't making sense. Let's suppose I am Zero. Why would I do something that would obviously cast suspicion on me?
Exactly.
Well, because you figured we'd think that. And you'd throw us off the trail by doing the exact opposite.
That's like planting evidence, in your room and saying, like, wait, but it was it must have been someone else that planted it here. I'm innocent. It's like, okay, you put, it's okay, let's say I take a baseball bat and I destroy your vase, okay? I destroy your vase and then I run home and then I place the baseball bat underneath my bed. And then I'm lying in bed and I'm pretending to be asleep, and then someone comes into my room and then they're like, wait a minute, there's a baseball bat underneath your bed and it's got little shards of the vase on it. It must be you. And then I go, no, you don't understand. It must be me, or it can't be me because I would have planted it there. It's like, no, why would you? No sane human being would, like, why would you plant it on yourself to then say, oh, well, someone else must have planted it there, and then because then someone else goes, no, it just, the fact that you planted it there would just make it even more suspicious, right? Like, the fact that it's in your room only casts more suspicion onto yourself. So the idea of placing the baseball bat there and then saying, oh, it can't be me because someone else planted it there is an idiotic thing to do. So there's, like, your logic's even worse than Fi's.
That's not a logical argument.
Correct.
Still, you do have at least half a point. Your argument doesn't confirm my guilt, but it does show us where we should be looking. The real Zero. The person who brought us here is likely the person who murdered that woman.
No,
Doesn't
really?
that seem like the most reasonable answer?
I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. If Zero was the murderer, then they could open anything they wanted to. I mean, didn't Zero say something about that?
I live in the master computer. That means all the electronic doors in this whole warren are under my control.
Exactly. Also, consider this. If the murderer isn't Zero, why would the AI Zero stay silent? He told us that his job was to make sure the game ran smoothly, but now the unexpected has happened, and he says nothing. Why would he? If he can see everything we do, then he must know who killed the old woman. So why has he kept his silence? The answer is simple. The murderer is Zero. Or rather, Zero Senior, I suppose you could say. He likely ordered Zero Junior, the AI, to keep his identity hidden. If Zero Junior told us about the murder, then Zero Senior's identity would be compromised. There is something else to consider as well. Perhaps this murder was not unexpected. Zero Senior murdered her, just as planned. Death is only another part of the game.
Killing someone is just a part of the game to him?
Well, there's no way to know for sure, but I would assume so.
But also, this would have... So, if he's telling the truth, and she wasn't there beforehand, then this would have had to happen after the fact. So then the question becomes, where did she come from? And where did she... Like, where... She would have had to be somewhere else. So... Because if Zero... It can't be one of us, right? Because if Zero's one of us, then someone in here would have their alibi destroyed. Because they would have been with us the entire time, so they wouldn't have been able to sneak back to kill her, which means she could have been killed way ahead of time, I guess, and then planted there afterwards. Who would have planted? I don't know. This is, I have so many questions.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We were so distracted by the dead body.
All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
I'm sorry, what? Whoa, what was that?
I don't know.
Well, one thing's for sure.
And that is...
If we don't go vote, something bad's going to happen.
You see? Just as I said, Zero Jr. ensures the game continues, even though someone has died. All of this is part of Zero Sr.'s plan.
Let's get back to the warehouse. If we all head to the AB rooms, maybe we'll see Zero Jr. After all, he told us he'd give us specifics once we gone in.
Okay, this is it. I'm still waiting for Tenmyo to show me his hand so I can, like, literally show me his hand so I can confirm my theory. Not that it's gonna help us, like, even if it gets confirmed to be true, there's still a matter of who exactly those two are in the context of this game, of which I have absolutely no clue. We're really going in there. I kinda don't want to. I mean, there was a dead lady in there just a few minutes ago.
Are you worried there's a ghost or something?
No, of course not. It's just, doesn't it bother you?
Nope. I don't believe in ghosts. I feel bad that she died, of course, but there's not really anything I can do about that, is there?
Damn, you're pretty cold, you know
I
that?
prefer bold, but whatever.
I mean, well, she didn't say anything incorrect. Like, my stance is, like, it's a gut punch that she died, and it sucks that she did, but also I have no idea who she is, so my reaction can't, like, my reaction can't be, oh my god, that's really sad, because I really had a connection to this person. It's more like, that's really terrible that someone died, but I have no emotional reason to, like, I don't have a personal reason to get invested in the fact that she died, and furthermore, she's already dead, so apart from avenging her, there's nothing I can do about it, so she didn't say anything incorrect.
Just don't let emotions get in the way.
That's pretty much the definition of cold.
Anyway, let's go. Looks like the others have already gone in.
Like, is that an unreasonable stance to hold? Like, I don't know, we have no idea who that person is. She has no impact on our life whatsoever. Is it really an unreasonable thing to say, like, it sucks that she died, I feel bad about it, but I've never met this person, so I don't have a personal reason to really, like, get sad or overly worked up about it? Is that an unreasonable stance to take? I don't know. It seems pretty reasonable to me. What is it, you find a ghost or something?
No. Look at the screen. There's something there.
Screen? The Ambidex game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the start button on your screen. Once you have entered your vote, the door will lock automatically. It will not open again until the polling period is finished. Okay. Well, we're here for the long haul now, and there goes the door.
Yep.
Hooray! Everybody's finally here!
I hate this rabbit.
I've been waiting.
So have we. We've got some questions for you, Zero. Who was that old
Will all of you please stop bombarding me with questions?
All?
The other people in the other rooms are asking me stuff just like you are, Siggy. I guess you probably can't hear them since these rooms are completely soundproof, but B.O. is especially loud. For real, B.O. I need you to shut up. There isn't much time. I gotta hurry and explain all this stuff, or the game will end before I'm done. So, no more questions from now on. No answers for anybody, okay? You just have to wait. Now, let's get this party started. Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent.
And I wonder who that opponent's going to be.
But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just fight everybody.
Thank God.
Each round will be a one-on-one battle. Mono a mono, or mono a womano. Well, there are two people in each pair, aren't there? So it'll be more of a 2-on-1 battle, I guess. Now, I imagine you're all wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors. For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Tenmyo and went through the yellow door. In fact, that means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Tenmyo.
By the way, just so you know, the voice actor for this stupid rabbit, for as much as I hate the design of the rabbit because it terrifies me, the voice actor is freaking phenomenal. That might be the best voice actor in the entire game.
And it goes the other way too.
So far, at least.
Tenmyo's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy.
Okay, great, but like, how do we play? Great, I got it. How do we play?
After all, if you choose ally, then they're your ally.
What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry. Just listen while Zero the Third explains it all.
First, I want everybody to focus on the screen on the device in the back of the room. You should see A, ally, and B, betray on it. Do you?
All you guys have to do
is pick! Just pick one of those easy options. Your BP will go up or down, depending on what you pick. It's a little complicated, and some of you are a little slow. So, I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view. So, let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent. You'll get 2 BP, and so will they. And you'll all get a nice warm, fuzzy feeling inside. We call that the best pals outcome. Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Next is what you get if you choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome.
Somebody did that to me. I'd skin them and stew them with some taters.
The third choice is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice, innocent opponent chooses ally. This time, you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2. We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. And finally, the very last scenario. This is when you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you gets or loses anything. Absolutely 0 change in BP. But we call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most. You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you? No. Let me explain. Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? Well, that applies here too. The 2 of you only get 1 vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray. That doesn't mean you split your points though. You both get 3 points, or lose 2 points, or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get.
Okay.
I think that about does it for the basic rules. Well, actually, there's a little bit more, but it'll just have to wait, I guess. After all, it's almost time!
Wait a minute.
No, I won't wait and I can't wait. Didn't you hear me? It is time!
Yeah,
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
You see, it's time for me to be hopping on out of here. See you later. Have a nice trauma.
We don't have time to talk about this. Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper,
You have
scissors?
to decide who's gonna press the button.
And you think that's a good way to
Just
decide?
shut up and do it. 1, 2, 3.
This.
Paper.
Scissors. So I'm guessing whatever I pick, she was gonna pick the losing option, because obviously player agency and all
Damn
that.
it. So what are you gonna pick?
I guess ally?
You're playing against Tenmyoji. Do you have any reason to think he won't betray you?
I guess not.
Yeah. If he does, what does that make our BP?
We'd be down to 1 point each, but that's not hopeless. I mean, sure we'll be a little further away from the goal, but all we gotta do is earn those points back.
When will we do that?
Okay, well I don't actually know, but it's pretty obvious we'll be playing this game more than one. Really self-aware there, game. After all, we can't get to 9 BP if we don't.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Well, you won. The decision's yours. Now decide, ally or betray.
3, 2, 1.
In that last moment before the counter reached 0, I made my choice. Okay, so we have to either ally or betray with Tenmyoji. So, obviously I don't want to piss him off. So I'm trying to think, like, none of us know each other well enough to the point where we can come to a conclusion about whether we should ally or betray each other. So I'm gonna go with the logical outcome that... So, my thought process here is that Tenmyoji is not in a great state of mind right now, because if my theory is correct that that was his dead wife, he's probably not gonna be in the mood to ally with anybody. So, with that in mind, well, so either way, if we vote ally, we either have a 50% chance of getting 5 or 50% chance of only getting 1. Whereas if we vote betray, best case scenario, we just keep our current points, or we can get 6 if they vote ally for us. So, with that in mind, I think that they're probably gonna vote betray, and if that, which means our best option is to also vote betray. And either way, if we vote betray, then, we either get 3 or 6, whereas if we vote ally, we either get 5 or 1, and we definitely don't want 1, so we're gonna go betray. This could be a disastrous choice, but I think my logic is sound.
Round 1 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
I am very curious to see how Tenmyoji voted. As Spy and I stepped out of the AB room, I could see the others running toward the projection, shoving and pushing to get closer. Tenmyoji was left behind, his footsteps with slow, heavy plod. What had happened? What do you think happened? They're the only two. They're the only two people in this game that are of almost exactly the same age that stand out among the rest of us. What do you think happened?
That's messed up.
What? You said I should!
I didn't say that. I just asked you a question. What would happen to our BP if Tenmyoji chose to betray us?
It was a leading question. Oh, I get it. I was wondering why you were so happy to let me choose after you lost in rock, paper, scissors. You were planning to use me as a scapegoat all along.
Was I?
God damn it.
Yo, what's up? Siggy! No! Hey, what are you kids doing over there? We're about to announce the results.
Anyway, we need to go have a look at the results first. Come on.
Also, either way, so like that, my logic for picking betray, I think holds up. But even if we throw that out the window, I think it'd just be more entertaining from a Let's Play perspective to pick betray, don't you think? Which I mean, I want to get all the endings, so I'm gonna have to play. I guarantee you that part of the choices. In fact, you know what? Let's check right now. I guarantee you that was one of the. Yup, that was one of the choices. So we're gonna have to play this game more. A lot of times. Ooh, you know what? That's probably that. Remember last episode when I was talking about how one of these is a good ending, one of them's a bad ending, and then if we duplicated that, it equals a total of 18. Divided by 2 is 9, which is the amount on the save screen. I guarantee you this final. I didn't want to. Okay. I guarantee this final choice is going to be either ally or betray for each one of these. Guarantee it. Because they all split in 2. That's got to be what it is. Anyway, so we're gonna have to play this game a lot more times in order to get all the endings. So. We'll see all the outcomes, but for the first run through, I stand by my decision to pick betray. I am very curious to see what Tenmyoji, because it's either gonna be the thing where he's like he cares so little that he's like, sure, I'll be your friend, or he cares so little it's like, I hate the world, so I'll vote betray. Either way. So let's see what happened.
Good. Looks like you're all here. Finally,
let's get ready to rock!
Ambidex Game! Round 1! The results!
Could you draw this out anymore?
If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
Yikes. So, I made the correct choice for us, but yikes. Oh, man. My logic was not correct. Okay, so I did think at the last second that, well, it could also be that he cares so little, he's like, oh, whatever, I'll be friends with you, sure thing. Like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Like, he's just in such a dejected state that he doesn't care. But, you know what? We made the right choice for us, and I'm standing by it. Okay, so let's look at the other ones. Dio and Cork chose to betray Alice. I'll tell you this, though. What is interesting here is that every single pair betrayed, but every single solo player allied. That's really, really interesting. Like, from a purely statistician perspective, that's incredibly interesting. I love this so far. This is such an improvement of the last game. It's awesome. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Here are the results from your game. Now, let us check the numbers on our bracelets.
I got betrayed?
Sorry, I
told him you might choose betray.
Fi, you...
I can't believe you. I'd never choose betray. I trusted you two, and this is what I got.
Look, buddy, my logic... Okay.
Ah, I apologize.
Fi, you don't need to apologize. I was the one who did it. I pushed the button.
Yeah, I guess you've got a point.
Huh? Wait, what?
Sigma's fault. You want to blame someone, blame him.
Wait, what the hell, Fi? Okay, I can't see. His finger's obscured by his other fingers. I can't see if he has a ring around it or not.
What, you gonna fight each other now? I don't care which one of you pushed the button. I'm never trusting either of you again.
Still can't see his finger.
This isn't over. Just you wait.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm quaking in my boots. I tried to think of something to say before I could come up with the right words. He was gone. I spun around. Fi, what the... But she was gone too. Yeah, what the hell? How did she disappear like that? As I looked around the room for Fi, I noticed that Clover, Kay, and Luna seemed to be having some kind of an argument as well. I moved close and did my best to listen surreptitiously.
Why did you do it? Sorry. I guess I wanted to get out of here as soon as possible, you know?
I apologize, but I felt the same way.
But if we all choose ally, then we could all escape together. It only takes 3 turns to get 6 points. That would be enough to get us out. Why? Well, of course we know that. But if we betray, then it's faster.
If your opponent chooses ally and you choose betray, then you gain 3 points. Do that twice, and you get 6 points. You see?
If you ally, then you have to play the AB game 3 times.
I gotta play this game 9 times, so I don't really care.
But if you betray somebody, you only have to do it twice.
Why are you acting like that's the right thing to do? I almost feel like you're blaming me or something.
We aren't trying to blame you.
But, I mean, if you just think about it, wouldn't it make sense to choose betray? Forget it. I understand now. It was silly of me to trust you guys.
Luna walked off with her head buried between her shoulders. Her back trembled as if perhaps she were crying, but I couldn't see her face. Alice, Dio, and Quark, however, seem to be having some issues of their own.
Fine, you just wait.
This is all your fault, Quark.
My fault? Why are you blaming me?
They exchanged dark looks, then stomped off in different directions.
Zero, when does the next round start?
What makes you think we'll be having another round?
Well, you said round 1. If there's a round 1, then there's likely a round 2.
Besides, didn't you say the goal of the AB game was to get 9 BP? That's impossible without a second round.
Oh, yeah. I guess you got a point. You're right. There will be a second round.
When?
I don't know.
Why not?
The voting happens when an AB gate opens.
They're already open.
Right, you are. So, let me just close them.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 2 of the Ambidex game will be the Moon Round. Moon cards will be required to open the gates.
So, because this one's the sun, got it, I see. Does that mean we can't use these cards anymore since they got suns on them?
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, we already used up our fast pass, we gotta find another one now.
Now,
You'll have to look for cards with moons on them.
So, how many times do we play the AB game?
I don't know. As many times as you need to. It's anybody's guess how long it'll go. But I plan on keeping this party going until somebody opens the number 9 door.
So it's over when someone gets 9 BP.
Nope. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on!
Of course. You could also get stuck just below 9 BP, where everybody just keeps going back and forth when you're losing points. After all, if there's no money with 9 BP, the door can't open. If that happens, you'll just have to continue on to round 3, and round 4, and round round 100, round 2000. You might even go all the way up to round 24,009,004,897. Although, I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Hey, can I ask you something?
I don't know. Can you?
You went with that line, huh? You went with that dad joke? There's rules about who can go into secondary doors, right? Like, you have to have 3 people exactly.
Yeah? So?
Well, what about the number 9 door? Are the rules the same?
Nope. There aren't any rules about how many people can go through that door. It could be 1 person, or 2 people, or even all 9 of you. There is one thing though, Ziggy. All that stuff about how you have to have 3 people to go through the secondary chromatic doors, maybe it's not 100% true.
What? What do you mean?
Well, you can open the door with just 1 or 2 people if you want.
That's not what you told us.
Well, I didn't want to make things complicated.
Then explain it now.
Just use the bracelets.
What? How?
There's a sort of scanner between the 2 doors. It checks to see if the right people are going through. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's scanning nothing.
I see.
So, it's scanning the bracelets then?
Ding ding ding! As long as the scanner sees the right combination of bracelets, it doesn't matter how many people there are!
But wait, hold on a minute. Do these things even come off?
No, yes, they do indeed.
Then how do I take it off?
Oh, you're not gonna like the answer.
Well, there's 2 ways. The first is to get through the number 9 door and escape. As soon as you're out, the bracelet unlocks all by itself.
What's the second way? Hey, Zero, wake up, will ya? What's the second way?
Oh, Theo. I think you already know.
What?
Do you really want to get rid of that bracelet?
Of course I do.
Oh, well, I see. It's easy. Nothing to it, really.
You die.
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses.
To all those who have not yet played 999.
You know what an electrocardiogram is, right? Technically, it's a machine that graphs the electric current flowing across the myocardium, but you probably know it as the thing in the hospital with the little light that goes beep, 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 beep. When someone dies on a TV show.
Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching.
Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
So, when that signal goes away...
The lock on the bracelet releases, right?
Yep. So there you go. The second way. Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off. Apart from that, there's no other way to get the bracelets off. If you try something harebrained, like trying to break them or something, you'll be disobeying the rules. I don't think I need to remind you what happens when you do that. But if you're lucky, you might get to see a few of them come off during the next round. Oops! I guess it's not going to be very lucky for some of you, huh?
Next round.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, do I have to explain everything?
Somebody might die during the next round of the AB game.
There. That's pretty clear, right?
If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be Tenbioldi, or Alas, or Mooney, or maybe everyone.
What?
Why?
Yeah, why am I going to die?
I don't think you can be killed. Aren't you immortal? Didn't we learn that in the last game?
I guess I can tell you why. Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized. Just like when you break the rules.
I'm pretty sure I already told you what the penalty is.
You mean the needles in our bracelets are gonna activate and we'll die?
Correct, Siggy. Full marks.
So, in that case, we need to... So are the groups gonna be the same for the next round? Because if so, then we need to make sure that we both ally, to make sure that no one drops below 0. So, in that case, we need to suck up hardcore to 10 Miyoji. Oh boy.
see. Alice, Luna, and I only have 1 BP. That means we'd have less than 0 if we lost 2 points.
What? What the hell? This is important stuff. Why didn't you tell us about
Probably because no one was at risk of dying in the first round.
Sorry. Sorry's not going to cut.
Like, it was literally impossible for anybody to die in the first round.
I thought you were supposed to tell us the rules, not hide.
But also, I'm pretty sure it's literally impossible for you to die in life because wasn't it the whole thing with her skin, like she cannot be killed or like she was mummified or whatever bullshit it was?
Well,
is there anything else you've conveniently left out? It's not fair to make people play a game without explaining all the rules.
I think it's fair. After all, it's not like anybody else.
Well, some games are easier to explain. Like, for some games, it's like if you're playing a game where there's a lot of complicated rules, like a board game, for instance, and you're just inviting a new player to join, what might seem simple to you as a veteran player may not be so simple to a new player, and especially if it's like a really complicated game, like a turn-taking board game or something like that. Like Xia, for instance. Xia, spelled XIA, is a game my friends and I played a lot in high school. That's a really complicated game with a lot of really complicated rules, and like it was common knowledge to us after a certain point. But to a new player, like, it's just completely overwhelming, like, your head wants to explode. So sometimes it's a lot easier to explain rules as you go along than it is to just dump all the rules onto the new player at once. So that's not entirely true. Especially since in this instance, like, I'm not by no means am I defending what Zero is doing, but, like, in this instance, no one was at risk of dying, so it wasn't strictly required. I took a moment to go over everything in my head. The AB game would continue until someone opened the number 9 door. There were no rules about how many people could go or pass through. Yeah, thanks. So this is just a recap for everyone who wasn't paying attention. Secondary, yep. We know. We know. Thanks. We remember what happened.
Uh-oh. One last thing. The next set of chromatic doors you'll be going through are downstairs. You already saw them, right? There should have been 3. Red, blue, and green. That means that to get through, you'll need bracelets in cyan, magenta, and yellow.
But wait! You've already got those bracelets! Have a look!
The color's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, my color's changed. It's magenta now.
Mine's magenta too. Me too. Hey, wait. It wasn't just the color that changed. I'm a solo now.
Looks like Clover and I are still pairs, though.
I'm a yellow pair now.
I am yellow as well, but it seems I'm still a pair.
Then who's the yellow solo?
Me. Still a solo. Looks like I'm cyan.
I'm a cyan pair. Aren't you one too?
Yeah, says pear, and the color's cyan.
When did they change?
So, that answers my question then. So it's not going to be the same as last time. So, so much as so, never mind, we won't be sucking up to 10 Miyoji, we'll be sucking up to everybody else.
Back when the AB gates closed. As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too. And of course, it's totally random. No rules or anything. Now, with all of that explained, I must bid you adieu. Sadly, we may never meet again.
What?
Well, there's not really anything for me to facilitate anymore. I mean, you guys are good from here. Right? I'll never see you guys again.
Oh, cry me a river, you stupid rabbit.
Did you really think I was gonna cry? Suckers! As if I'd cry over you dummies.
What the?
You mad? Anyway, good luck. I may be gone, but I'm
Always watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Maybe I'll see you again someday.
Have a nice tragedy.
That voice actor is seriously so awesome. Anyway, so that was a freaking dump load of information.
That little piece of shit.
Alright, I'm gonna call the episode off here. We've been going for a while. We learned a lot of information. We played the first AB round game. This is really interesting. I can't wait to keep playing. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. Goodbye.